This video presentation, which is also a Smart Fish Method mini course, describes the various ways to use the Speedo training washboard. It is proven to be the ideal board for all strokes, including the teaching of flip turns. You will see how coaches use it as a teaching aid for pre-competitive students to learn stroke technique, even though Speedo obviously designed it as a training aid, as you can see from the product description here, acquired from its website. Because of the various handhold options and its unique level of buoyancy, due to the fact that it's made of soft, dense EVA foam, swimmers are placed in a more natural position than when using a traditional, much too buoyant basic kickboard. Beginner stroke level swimmers and the most elite competitive swimmer will experience better core engagement and therefore an increased abdominal workout when holding the board by the lower slats.
Hey guys, it's Dr. Rick. Today what I would like to do is talk about my review of the Speedo washboard. When I got it, I thought I would just compare it to something that I thought it was very comparable to, which was the kickboard. Because they had a similar size, similar shape, and so I compared it to the 17-inch Sprint Aquatics kickboard, and did pretty much everything that I would typically do with a kickboard, but was very surprised at the difference in the dynamic that I received with this board. As you know, a kickboard has a lot of thickness, especially the Sprint kickboards, so definitely a lot more buoyancy with the kickboard. So I kind of really like that quality of it. They designed it as a swimming aid, so these holes, using for your hands, so you can do like prone or supine flutter kicks. And actually this rail down the middle is designed to kind of keep you on a straight trajectory when you're into the water.
We will begin with the most basic drill that we teach all our beginner stroke level students, from introduction to stroke school at age 2 or 3 to the more advanced pre-competitive level 1. So we're doing the washboard hug back kick drill. We want the kids to hold the board on the belly so that the dip at the top of the board fits right under the chin.
Eyes up here, our back. We're going to hold the board, okay, just under our chin, right here, where there's this little dip. Nice and flat, okay, against your belly, against your chest, on the surface. Keep your chin by the board. Fast kicks on the surface, looking up at the sky. Okay, you can hug the board, that's fine too. Hug the board like it's your teddy bear.
Good job.
Here we go. Your chin.
Next, transition this into the washboard soldier back kick. When the kids hold the middle slats on the board, they end up with a nice balanced horizontal position, and the board covers their thighs so that it prevents them from overbending their knees.
Okay, you're going to put hands in the middle of your board, and then we're going to do straight arms, okay? Straight arms, place it flat on your hips, head up in the sky, and you're going to do nice straight leg kicks on the surface, belly pressing against the board, hip pressing against the board. Okay, hand on the spot here, straighten your arms, good, lay back, and push. Good, belly up, kick, kick, kick.
Elbows super straight. Elbows straight.
Feet on the wall.
Usually, after the head lead soldier kick, we move on to the swordfish kick with the 2 arms leading. This is more challenging and therefore more advanced. They usually have a hard time balancing, but when they hold this board underneath at the middle slat level, it influences the student's posture to be flat because their hands are under the water and the top of the board presses firmly against their head, which causes them to keep their chin in a more neutral, correct position. Watch how this level 2 swimmer uses the board for the very first time.
Good. Straight arms, elbows nice and straight. Yeah. There you go. Nice. Keep going.
Next, we had her hold the board with one hand while keeping the other down by her leg. It required a tight core, straight arms pressing against the head and the body, and efficient, effective perpetual kicking.
Hand on your leg. Do you think your head needs to go back a little bit more? Arms straight. Try to make your arms straight. That's good.
This next drill that we call the one-arm pump using the washboard kickboard was an experiment. We encourage all our teachers and coaches to be creative and try new ideas all the time.
Go straight up and down. Straight. Try to make your arms straight. That's good. Can you lift this arm straight up in the air and then back down again? Go straight up and down. Just go straight up to the sky. Point to the sky and back down. Go. Kick. You got to kick hard when you do that. Go straight up and down. Go straight up and down.
Now we're talking about freestyle kick drills. There are two basic ways to do it. When you have them hold the board by the middle or the bottom slat, you are engaging their core, forcing it to become stronger. You can have them kick with their head up or hold the middle slats and kick with their face in, popping up for quick breaths, placing their body back down into a very flat horizontal position.
So what's the deal here?
So he only has one kickboard, so when he's breathing right now, he's pushing really hard on that kickboard and it's going down, so it slows him down a lot. So we're having this other guy right here, his name's Hayden, and it's also where he's holding the board, but we give him two boards. He's a little bit taller and a little bit bigger muscles. So, you know, and you watch the board, stays right on top, keeps him in good body position the whole time.
So he's a whole lot better because he's using two boards.
These boards fit very well on top of each other.
Good kick, Charlie, good kick.
In mid-2017, we began using these specific kickboards at the Fountain Valley location. They are so much better than the previously used kick mats that we have decided to implement them at all Nova Swim School locations, and they are now standard equipment to use for the drills presented in this video at all Smartfish locations. So now we move on to the most advanced level in the Smartfish method, where we teach a more synchronized freestyle. This is when we move on from the more segmented version of asking the swimmers to put their head back down before the arm recovers over the water. Now we teach the swimmers to blend their breath recovery into the perpetual motion of the arm swings.
A good breathing technique delivers oxygen to your muscles and helps you to swim more comfortably and efficiently. The more efficient your breathing technique, the less impact it has on your stroke. As your arm begins to recover over the water, turn your head to the side, breathing under your arm as it moves through to the front of the stroke. Try to keep your body straight, only moving your head as you turn to breathe. Your body will rotate slightly, but aim to keep it as flat as possible. To breathe, turn your head slightly so that your mouth is just out of the water. Your eye line should be level with the side of the pool, not the roof. Reduce the amount you turn your head if necessary. Return your head to face the bottom of the pool as soon as possible after breathing.
In the Smartfish method, we call this synchronized freestyle because the breath recovery fits into the perpetual motion of the stroke instead of during the warrior position pause right after the quick breath, which is what we teach in the lower levels. The best way to introduce this is by having them practice the touch stroke drill. This touch stroke is different from the tag stroke we taught them earlier. Now, instead of doing the long warrior one arm up, one down position after the breath recovery, we want them to breathe and rotate their face back in as the arm goes over the water, and then stop at the top of the board for 3 counts, before pulling with the other arm. So this is the touch stroke, although Golda is not doing it correctly. When both hands meet at the board, she should be doing a 3-count kick before pulling again. This is essentially a kicking drill. The correct way to do touch stroke is to have both arms pause at the top for 3 counts, giving her a chance to put her head in the right place and develop a solid kick before pulling again. Another benefit is that it teaches the swimmer to reach out in front during the freestyle stroke and to take advantage of a full arm length. The way this board floats rather low in the water makes it perfect for this drill. Now we talk about breaststroke. We used to think the kick mats were the best way to teach a breaststroke kick in the pre-competitive level. And now we found that the washboard held this way is wonderful for keeping their hips level. Right now, we just want him to learn to turn his feet out and push straight back, while also learning the balance for breath recovery as well as the timing where the head goes down before the kick starts. If he tries to breathe holding the board like this and kick at the same time, he'll lose his balance. So I realize this swimmer's knees are too wide, but we'll fix that with other drills.
Explain to me why the board is better than the mat.
So it helps him balance a little bit better.
He's
He
forced
has
to balance.
Yeah, he has to balance the right way. And then it keeps their body position in line, where we'd have to have 2, sometimes 3 mats just to get him up high enough. His hips are much more raised just using the board this way, and he's able to put his head down better, which he's not necessary. There it is.
Yeah, the
Creating a
mat,
much better
they're
kick.
still able to cheat on the mat. And this so if he does
Head down, right?
twist his hips, he's going to fall off the board.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
It is convenient to move on to the next drill without having to change equipment, like we used to do when we would use kick mats and then change to kick sticks. This is a segmented version of breath recovery and kicking. We ask that he rise for a quick inhale breath, put his face back into the water with a completely flat head position, and then do 2 or 3 breaststroke kicks. He should be holding a glide for about 3 counts before rising for a breath again. In Smartfish grade 11 and the 4th pre-competitive level that Nova calls Select, we begin to teach a more synchronized breaststroke. Now, instead of doing the segmented version where they do a pull breath recovery, we teach them to synchronize the recovery or shoot into the streamline position with the breaststroke kick.
We're holding the board up, we're kicking 3 times, and then when we breathe, we're pulling the board underneath our chin, and then we're going to kick it back out with our next kick, okay? So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, take a breath, then 1, 2, 3, okay? And we go.
See, these kids haven't quite got it. That's really kind of a great select drill anyway.
Yeah.
So it's okay that they're not getting it quite right. He's got select level breaststroke.
So just make your breath quicker, and then whenever you pull the board down to your chin, make sure you're ready to kick the board back out.
Normally, we do not use kickboards at all when we teach body dolphin for the butterfly, but we have found these boards to be very useful to help teach them to keep their arms and head completely flat and stable while they undulate their body.
Keep your head still. Don't bend your knees. See, you're bending your knees too much. Push your buns up without bending your knees. No knee bend. Push your buns up without bending your knees. Yes. Yes. Keep your head still. Way up. Don't bend your knees at all. Keep your head still. Head still. Nice and flat. Head down nice and flat. You have to really push your rear end up. Good. I like the way you're keeping your head between your arms. Can you hug your head with your arms? Good. Pretty good for level 3, guys.
And finally, these boards are very useful when teaching students to do somersaults for flip turns. Notice how one student named Golda was doing it incorrectly, but then when she followed the directions from the coach, using the boards properly, she quickly mastered the skill.
So listen guys, when we do our flip turns, the beginning position of a flip turn is with your hands down by your side, okay? And the ideal way of flipping is when we start our flip, we push on the water with our hands, we flip over and end up in streamline on our back. So these are going to help us to flip the correct way with our arms and not move our arms or use our arms to spin us like this. We want our arms to just end up in streamline up above our head. We're going to kick with our hands like this for 3 seconds. Really fast kicks. 1, 2, 3. And then I want you to flip. When you're flipping, you're going to end up on your back, upside down like this with your arms up above your head. Does that make sense?
What?
You're going to flip, ending up on your back with your arms up in streamline.
And then you stop, right?
Nope, not difficult at all.
But pushing the board through the water is one
You don't need to push the board through the water. The board stays exactly where it is. That's the whole point of having the board.
Oh, right. So release the board underwater?
Nope, you hold on just like this, and you're going to do a somersault and land on your back. Golden, will you try it for us really fast? So lay down on your stomach. Put your board down by your side like this.
I get it.
And you're going to kick. Board should be down facing your feet. Down facing your feet. Can you turn your boards, Golda? Look, you see how the long parts are facing my feet like this, Golda? That's how yours need to be. There you go. Yeah. Ready. Head down. 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, flip. Good, and remember we want to end up in streamline on our back. So we don't use our arms to turn us, that's what the boards are stopping us from doing. So they end up here in streamline above our head. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, flip. Perfect. Arms up high and flip. Golda, we want to use our tummy to push our head around, not our arms, okay? That's why we're holding the kickboard, is to help our arms stay in the same spot. So when you flip, push with your tummy so that you go all the way around. Right now you're flipping about halfway and stopping. You need to push your head all the way around until you're laying on your back with your arms up like this. Does that make sense? Much better. Yeah, Golda. That was it. That was perfect. That's how I want it to feel every time. Awesome. Perfect, Kaden. Nice job. Go. Much better. Yeah. exact same thing, but this time without the boards. You're gonna feel like it's really hard to flip because you don't have the boards that are helping you push around. You need to push harder with your stomach all the way around and leave your hands in that same position so they end up in streamline on your back, okay?
Hey, try to get them to kick a streamline all the way back to the wall.
Okay.
Because they quit too soon.
Really good. Okay, so listen, this time we're gonna pretend like we've pushed off the wall. So after you guys flip, I want you to kick on your back in streamline back to your spot. So you're gonna flip over. Once you flipped, you're in streamline on your back. Then I want you to kick on your back all the way back to the wall, okay?
It's going to be hard on them because they've had to let all their air out on their somersault.
If you stop your flip halfway, you're gonna end up sinking down pretty deep. You wanna flip really fast so you stay right on top of the water. That makes it easier to kick on your back. Okay, let's try it again. You need to flip back. Yeah. Good, Hayden. Hayden, show me tight streamline, okay? Don't be lazy with your arms. You guys, you two both started your kicks while your feet were in the air, and so it shot you straight down to the floor. Make sure you guys have flipped all the way over before you start your kicks, okay? Otherwise, that was pretty good. Nice job, guys.
We would like to show you the rest of the progression to learn flip turns. The videos taken of this class can be found on the Accord Learning Management System that we use for the Smartfish method. In the video called Flip Turn Part 3, they learn to add their freestyle arms to the front to back somersault into a streamline kick. Then they learn in Flip Turn Part 4 to turn over onto their stomach after they've done a front to back somersault. And finally, in that same fourth video, they do a full freestyle flip turn, putting all the parts together.